If you are having trouble walking, you are not alone. We have so many friends with peripheral artery disease on our network, more than 12,000 across the globe. You got to join padsupportgroup.org and join us there. Lots of people with PAD, that poor circulation in the legs. And then right here on YouTube, you can join us. And we have a great group of people here that meets every single week, right, Douglas, for the PAD Leg Saver Hotline podcast. And we just talk about life in general. But I think today it's really important, even leading into the show, that we're talking about just the point that you really are not alone. More than 70% of Americans may not know about PAD, but that doesn't mean you're alone, because you're truly not.
And how many times were we told it was a pulled muscle? We just overworked, or our
Yeah, I think that's the
nutrition,
problem.
it's our
Right?
backs. It's this, it's that,
Yep.
it's it. And how many stories can we all tell about when's the first time some of us had our shoes and socks taken off and our feet checked? Some others got lucky, and I think before we started today, Thomas was talking about uh, we all have a story to tell. We all have a road that we've taken to get where we are today, and the bumps and the speed bumps and the roller coaster ride this disease actually brings to us as individuals, and the wide variety that it has, isn't it? It's kind of amazing to think about some of the stories that we can tell about how long have some of us before we were even diagnosed with PAD. How many of us were with doctors before we met this organization and you? How many of us were with doctors that were just throwing spaghetti against the wall and didn't really know?
That's the best phrase I've ever heard for that.
You know,
Actually,
it, it's
whoops, I dropped
it's
my
like
cord.
it's like for my it was with doctors that just knew one way and that was it. Didn't try any other way.
Nope.
And all the stories that we can tell about the journey
Who
that
was it?
we've taken. Huh?
Was it Taylor? Was it Taylor that said, I think Taylor, it was you that said, they just told you to rub some cream on it. Just rub some cream on your legs. You'll be fine. I mean,
Oh,
seriously. Oh, and then
yeah.
Imelda says it took almost 2 years before her doctor knew what was going on. Right, Taylor?
Yeah, right now they have me rubbing lidocaine and nitroglycerin on my feet, on the digits.
Oh,
So it helped a
isn't
little
that the
bit, but
worst?
not as much as walking or getting it unblocked.
So Taylor, how big a book do you think we could write with all the excuses and all the stories that we have heard before we
Yeah.
were diagnosed?
Oh, you could write a whole, maybe a trilogy, or even more than that. You
Yeah.
can, definitely.
Isn't it nice to see that you're not alone? I mean, it sucks. You
Yeah.
don't want anyone, you wouldn't wish this upon even your worst enemy. I mean,
No,
people
not
just
at all.
don't understand the debilitating pain, but you aren't alone. There are people here that share in the experience. Marie right here. Oh my gosh. Marie has horror stories of trying to get diagnosed. Right? Yeah, she's nodding. Oh my goodness. If you want to be in the live studio audience and actually see who's here, you got to email info@padhelp.org. But if you're on YouTube, just don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more great info. But Thomas, you too. How long did it take you to get diagnosed? By the way, if everyone wants to unmute, he's the birthday boy. You want to sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Thomas, happy birthday to you, and many more
Thank
on
you.
channel GPAD.
Okay,
Happy
from
birthday.
thank you.
You're
From
welcome.
from getting initially diagnosed, when I went to the doctor about it, was about 6 months, going through hoops and everything else. But it started way before then, because I remember after I had the stents in my heart, the 3 stents I had in my heart several times, different times, I would walk up and down the road. Walking's not good, but I would walk. and it
Yeah.
started getting harder and harder. But it wasn't in my calves; it was in my hips, and it
Oh,
was getting really, really bad. And I just thought, well, maybe I don't know. Um, but that was back in 2018. They
oh,
knew
wow.
there was a
That's a while
problem.
ago.
They knew there was a problem because they went. I always get them to go through my groin when they go to my heart or anywhere else because it's less painful for me. So when they
Yeah.
went in, they kept me. Normally they wouldn't keep me, but they kept me for 3 days. And I had a nurse in there every hour on the hour checking the pulse of my groin. I was like, "Is everything okay?" She's like, "Yeah, just checking you. Your pulse is okay." And but nothing else was mentioned about that. You
Hmm.
know. So I don't know how long I've had it, and I
And,
know how it happened, and you know,
and Thomas, a question for you also, and it would go for all of us. How many of us have never heard of PAD, and we also were throwing it off to other things and putting it off? And how long did I waited 6 months falling
Taylor.
before
Taylor.
I went
Taylor
to a
was,
doctor.
yes, exactly. Taylor, you were running marathons and stuff. You
I was I
you were
was
like,
in
oh, it's just a
jujitsu.
muscle cramp.
I was in
Ah,
jujitsu, and I kept coming off the mat like my toe, and that's how I discovered it. So I thought it was an ingrown
see?
toenail.
Oh my God. Seriously.
but yeah, they told me it was neuropathy because they never read my records, and they would have known I had peripheral neuropathy. Then they told me it was my back, so I had to go through all these tests for my back, spinal injections, and everything
Oh
else.
yeah.
At the end up, they sent me to an anesthesiologist. They were going to numb a part of my back, a part of my spine. And when I got there, my my leg looked like a football, and the color of it was bronze.
Ugh.
And I said to the anesthesiologist, I said, "Does this many be like this?" And he's like, and he went and got an old doctor, an older doctor, and he came in and he pushed on it. Oh, I almost jumped off that seat. He pushed
Oh my
right
God.
where the blood clots were. And he said, "You can't have this injection." He said, "You don't have a problem with your spine." He said,
Jeez.
"Go get a scan done." So they did it there for me without even because I had private insurance then. Before they even got it approved, they did the scan, the ultrasound for me. And the lady said, "You were full of blood clots." And they could see them all the way up from my ankle, all the way up to my groin. So they sent me to ER. I went to ER. I sat there for 3 hours, still never seen. And I said, "Ma'am," I said, "Look, I'm in a lot of pain with this, with the blood clots." "Oh, no, it's only suspected." I said, "No, ma'am. They sent the scans over to you." I said, "I know they did. I was there when they did it." And they had me sitting there another 2, 3 hours. I said, "No,"
Mm.
I went home. And
And
they
and
get pissed. They get pissed though, because when I was leaving, you're meant to sign the paperwork so they get paid. I told them I said, "Look, I'm leaving. I'm getting no. I've been here 6 hours. How can you? I'm not
You're like,
signing."
I'm done.
I
I'm
never
done.
signed it. I said, "No, I'm not signing it because you take someone in that's got a broken fingernail." So yeah,
think about think about that, Thomas, and think about what can you can we imagine what 10 years ago would have been like if because look at where PAD some of where PAD is becoming today, and it is getting out there more and more.
Mhm.
But can you imagine 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, when how many doctors really understood or even heard the word PAD?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
it's becoming more prevalent, I think, mainly because of the diabetes epidemic, and uh, people are just presenting in the advanced stage of it. And we have the ARC Act that we're hoping is going to pass along and become law on Capitol Hill at some point. I'm going to Capitol Hill on May 13th, and I will be sitting with Senator Daschle at a luncheon. And you can be sure I will be talking about PAD and the ARC Act and encouraging him that when it does, hopefully, pass through the assembly, that it'll get to the Senate, and hopefully he will champion it, which would be great. But that's really raised awareness of it. It also has become um, more, more well known because Dr. Anita Dua, who's a vascular surgeon out of Mass General, she was on the she was a presidential scholar, and it's a group of high level people. It's a very elite group, and they talk to the presidents, previous presidents, et cetera, et cetera. And she was able to save one of the other scholars that was there, her uncle, that was told nothing could be done. And she called me and she said, Kym, who do you got over in Philly? And we were able to get that patient saved. So slowly but surely, right? And this is why we go live with this, because this really helps to get the word out there that you aren't alone, that maybe your leg pain is more than neuropathy. It's more than just your back. It's more than just, we just had someone tell us they were diagnosed with gout, but they're a diabetic. So you might have gout, but you might and likely do have some form of peripheral artery disease as well. So this is a great opportunity to get the word out there. And we do get a lot of folks that call our Leg Saver hotline up here in the corner. And Douglas, you got a huge shout out. Can I pimp you out a little bit? Give you a little love? So in November, we had the daughter, I think it was even over Thanksgiving. I was with my family. And yes, Imelda, it can be hereditary and it can be, but it's usually triggered by something. There's something beyond just peripheral artery disease in your family. There's usually a risk factor that leads to peripheral artery disease, such as, let's say, an MTHFR mutation, maybe LP little a, right, Taylor? It could be some sort of coagulation issue. But anyway, back to Douglas. Douglas, so it was in November, and I was with my family over Thanksgiving. He answered the Leg Saver hotline. And it was a woman from Texas, and her dad was told no option but amputation. He was in a dire situation. I mean, literally infection. He was in pain. He couldn't tolerate it. Even it was so much pain, it brought a grown man to tears, and she couldn't handle, hearing that her dad was in so much pain. Her mom didn't know what to do. They were ready to just go to the emergency room and let him just cut off the leg. And Douglas was like, no, 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 no. Wait, hold on, hold on. Let's get him to Kym and help to facilitate getting the daughter to me. We then got the mother or the wife of the patient on the phone. And then we got Dr. Thomas out of St. Louis, Missouri, who was on vacation as well. And I think, Douglas, it was a Friday night or a Saturday. No, yeah, it was over
Saturday.
the weekend. It was Saturday. Okay. Because they drove 2.5 hours, I think it was, from where they were located to St. Louis. Dr. Thomas, sight unseen, just faith in us, faith that the patient would show up, ended up, one, calling the patient personally to talk to him, two, facilitated a bed through the emergency room, told him to go to the emergency room. He would leave their name there, and he immediately got him admitted. He got him on a heparin drip, got him on antibiotics right away, and gave him some time to get him back. It was over Thanksgiving. That was over Thanksgiving holiday. That's what it was. So
Yep.
anyway, he was able to save the leg, and now we're months later, and in our PAD support group.org, the daughter posted, and we were so excited to see because I hadn't gotten an update. So finally they're feeling in the clear, and she shared a picture of her dad eating some spaghetti at the table and had a big smile on his face. So big shout out to Douglas. So if you are calling the hotline, Douglas, you might get him, you might get me, you might get A couple other people on our board, our nurse practitioner Lori, or Jimon Dene, who is the daughter of one of our patients we've helped as well. So great team. Anyway,
And
we
let's go.
digress.
Cool. I saw the picture. That was cool. Go back to, I
Yeah.
think Marcia, I think she brought up something that was really something to think about is the baby boomers. And I guess this question would be more, my question to that, Kim, would be a little more along what you see. Do you think PAD might be more prevalent today than it was 20 years ago? Or is it just more, we know more about it now? Or could it possibly be just something that it's just kind of coming out now in people? Because, I mean, how many um, we smoked, we didn't eat right, all the stuff that we did, or we weren't supposed to be doing, or we were doing, or whatever. But do you think maybe it is something that maybe is kind of new or just more prevalent today that we see?
Yeah. She doesn't go live, so we're not going to get an answer there. But if anyone else wants to weigh in, hello, Marie. Nice to see you. You could unmute and say hello. It's good to see you. And also Wanda's here. And I see Beth. Beth is here as well. Hello, Beth.
Hey,
I know you've had a rough go, but things have been looking up for you, haven't they?
who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, um, yeah, it's going okay right now. I don't know, it's just day by day.
Can you talk about those injections? I'm sure everyone can relate to it if you don't mind, because I know that there's at least one other person in this group that is listening right now that
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
experienced the same thing.
I'd been having some stomach problems, and so I got in to my gastroenterologist, and they did a upper scope on me. And when they went in there, they had found a big mass of inflammation in my stomach, and it was
Oh
caused
no.
from taking iron. Because I have an iron deficiency and I didn't know
Yeah.
this. So they had me taking the iron, like 325 milligrams of iron every day. And then we finally got it down to like Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But here, I'm still having these stomach problems and stuff. And I'm also on a 325 milligram aspirin. So they came to the conclusion that the iron and the aspirin together is what was causing this massive inflammation in my stomach. And that's why I was in so much pain. So my blood doctor, my hematologist, is that what I call it? Yeah. And another doctor had gotten together and talked about it. And they said that because because I have iron insufficiency, I've got to have my iron. I've got to have it. So they suggested iron infusions. So I just got done Monday with 5 of
Oh,
them. I had to do 5 iron infusions like within 2 weeks. Now, I got those done and I have to go back in 2 weeks from Monday and give some blood to see where I'm sitting with my iron insufficiency to see if that iron has helped. But they said that, with number 5 being done and over with, I should be feeling better. I should be more peppier and stuff like that. And I'm not,
oh no.
not at all. So,
Beth,
But
how
I
did you
that's,
feel? How did you feel after the infusions? Like, do you feel? Because they said you're gonna feel bad. I have an infusion like later in the month or next
yeah,
week.
my first infusion, it was, they said that, I was going to have a headache and I might have some other, you know, issues. But after I was okay when I was there, I had to sit there for a good half an hour, a little bit longer after my infusion was done, because they wanted to make sure that I was going to be all right. I was fine. I had a slight headache, which is normal when with the infusions. And that's the only thing I felt. I mean, I was a little tired, but you know, they say you get tired from it also. I got home, I got sick. And I told the nurses that what had happened when I had gotten home, and they're like, that's strange because we've never really heard of anybody getting sick after having an iron infusion. And then
Marie,
I had talked to another nurse, like on my third infusion, I think. And she asked how things went for my first one, and I told her. And she said that she has had patients tell her that they've gotten sick too. So, but yeah. And then afterwards, I had a headache, a little tired. And other than that, it seemed like everything was fine.
Yeah, like what they said to expect, right?
I
Yeah.
just wonder why can't they do a less, just a lower dose, maybe, and ease people into it. I don't know if I've never looked it up. Have any of you looked it up to where you discovered why these symptoms and whether they've tried to mitigate the risk of these symptoms? Because I know that I keep, Marie wrote in here, she's like, yeah, I couldn't do the infusions we tried. I mean, they made her sick. And so
Yeah,
I'm,
my first one did, but I was
yeah,
okay after after that.
you were okay after that for the next one. Okay. So
Yep.
Taylor, ask your doctor for us. Just say, how do we mitigate that? I don't want to get sick after this. Do we need to do a lower dose? Is there anything that I can take along with it? Maybe they always say that citrus helps with iron absorption. Is that the same? Maybe get a little, eat a couple extra oranges or something. Might sound ridiculous, but I don't know. It's worth asking, right?
Yeah, I'll send a message in my chart.
Yeah.
And when do you go to liposomer again? That's this week, isn't it?
Um, so Library server, the insurance is trying to fight fight me on it. I actually found out my family around me all have high cholesterol, like high LDL, but they haven't been tested for LP little a, which is at a 358 for me. So they're trying to fight. My doctor, Dr. Fernandez, is trying to like get me there because we were like, I have severe PAD, I have high LPA, LP little a, and everything.
So is it your insurance that is fighting you on it? Because Dr. Hernandez
Yeah,
is the one that deploys it, right? He's the one who
yeah,
does the liposorber. So he
yeah,
agreed that it might be a good option for you.
yeah. I saw a
As
doctor at
someone in,
Yale at cardiology. He also told me that he's like, Dr. Fernandez is a great doctor. I agree that you at this point at your level, you need the liposuction treatment
whoops, you're
now,
fading
because I'm
out. You're
high. He
fading
just
out.
said that the cardiologist at Yale said that because I went to him for like a second opinion type of thing. He told me Dr. Fernandez is a great doctor and
Yeah.
that you need liposuction treatment at this point because
So for people
cholesterol
who don't
medication is
know,
not going to do anything.
so LP little a is now becoming more and more, I mean, just awareness of it is just, now people are becoming more aware. And I think it's because there are actual treatments that are coming on the market for it. One of the first treatments that is officially for LP little a is called liposorber, and it works much like dialysis, and it goes through and it cycles through your blood and it filters out the LP little a somehow, some way. I've seen videos of it. It's pretty cool. I think actually, you know what, Taylor, I think I do have a short up on youtube.com/the weight of my heart. I could probably look it up and then I could put it into the chat for you
Yeah,
so
definitely.
you
I
could
know
see
I looked up
exactly
the
how it
video on
works.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. But she has critical ischemia, right? And it's an option that if you maybe we've seen they had a study out of USC that showed in at least one patient, it is indicated for PAD. It is FDA indicated for it. But there was this patient that was in critical ischemia. They said there was no option. And when they cleared out the LP little a, he was able to avoid amputation. So however it worked, it worked. And so we're crossing our fingers because Taylor is so young. I mean, that'd be great until we can get Eli Lilly has a drug. I know there are other companies with a drug for LP little a specifically, which so far we've heard from a couple of patients in the study. They think they have the real deal and their numbers are incredible and they're feeling even better. So their quality of life is better. So crossing our fingers that there is going to be something for LP little a. And at least if you have to go in a couple times a week for a few months, it probably would be worth it. Maybe one of the drugs will be on the market and you could transition to that at that point, if that's what's causing your issue, right?
Yeah, I mean, they said it would help with inflammation and maybe clotting, and then also just the prematurity of a stroke and heart attack, which I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So we want to fight that as much as
So
possible.
so it's the insurance though that is giving you a hard time.
Yeah, Dr. Fernandez said he's working a way around it. I wouldn't understand how it wouldn't be accepted with everything. So, but he said definitely we're working on it. So I'm sure I'll be in there no time. He said I might have to take cholesterol medication for like 3 to 6 months, and then they might, if it doesn't go down, then because LPA won't be affected by regular cholesterol medication. So
It
then they will
doesn't.
accept me.
The only one, did you like, I kind of rolled my eyes kind of went in. The one that I've heard from patients and doctors that might kind of do a little bit was Repatha, the injections of Repatha.
Yeah, I heard
But
about that.
you're not in a situation where you have 3 to 6 months to experiment. We know that this has proof that it works. Why are we going to experiment for 3 to 6 months when here is a treatment indicated for PAD and critical limb ischemia?
Yeah, and the damage of inflammation and clotting at this point, I can't risk.
So maybe you message me personally. I can email also the company and say, what can we do here? We got to get something. Something's got to give. We got to do this. Chop, chop, chop.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
That would
You
be
know,
great.
reading or
Hi,
hearing what Beth
Heinz.
said, good evening, and what Marie just wrote in there also, since all of us, when we started with our PAD and associated stuff and CAD and associated stuff, we're given all these meds to try and things like that. I'm just curious how many people have had their gut destroyed because of one med or another that they were given, because it's like, here, you need to take that. Here, you need to take that. My gut was destroyed from aspirin, and
Yeah.
that can't be good.
See, and
Down the
that's
road,
where
it
I
can't
was
be
headed.
good.
That's where I was headed to, Heinz, because I had a mass of inflammation in my stomach due to
Yikes.
the iron and aspirin.
Oh,
However,
geez.
yeah, and I'm iron insufficiency, so I have to have it. So now we're thinking that the infusions are going to be the only way I can get my iron when it comes time for me to need more, if I need more. And the aspirin, I have to have that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But yeah, mine
But
was headed that way.
325 sounds like a large dosage.
It's a full dose aspirin, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty high. I mean,
That's high.
isn't there
Well,
something they can substitute it with?
no, the reason why they have me on that high of a dose is because I suffered 2 strokes in less than a year.
Yeah.
So, and I had been taking my baby aspirin, I was taking my Plavix, my Salisbury, I was taking everything that I was supposed to be taking, and I still had 2 strokes in less than a year.
I had to go to the ER because of the baby aspirin. And the ER doctors insisted, no, it's from the Plavix. I went to my cardiologist and he kind of challenged that. And he said, no. He said, I bet you if you stop your aspirin right now, you're going to feel a lot better. And I did. And I felt a lot better. And it
How
wasn't
long
the
have you guys been
Plavix.
on?
But So the doctors are fighting against each other, trying to determine what caused my stomach to have H. pylori, GERD, all kinds of crap in my stomach. And,
Yeah.
you know, and it was nasty. So
Yeah.
now I'm on Eliquis to replace the aspirin. It's a lot better.
How are
Well,
you?
it's
How
different.
long
They
did you
work
take
differently.
Plavix?
Pardon me?
Go ahead. Beth, that was you. Go ahead. You can talk.
She
You're
asked how
breaking up,
long
Taylor.
did you take? She asked how long did you take Plavix?
Plavix, I took it twice. The first time was about a year. In that time, I had the gastro problems. The second time was 2.5 years. I asked on one of Kym's shows, you know, how long am I supposed to be taking Plavix? And I have stents. That's why I was given Plavix. And they said generally up to a year. There's cases where you might be taking a lot longer. So, but generally it's up to a year. So I asked my cardiologist, do I still need to take Plavix? I mean, I'm re-occluded. I don't think the
Mhm.
Plavix is helping. And he said, yeah, you've been on it for quite a while. You can stop it. So, you know, he didn't argue. He said, yeah, you're already re-occluded. So, oh, well.
Don't they
What-
kind of pressure you to be on aspirin though? Because I'm on Eliquis and Plavix, and I love Eliquis because
Yeah,
it
they're two
kills
different.
Well,
my
that's the
venous
go-to, I think,
clots.
is aspirin. But, you know, if you can't tolerate it, what are you supposed to do? So,
Yeah, I
Well,
know.
there's Brilinta and Plavix, but that's an antiplatelet versus an anticoagulant. But if the anticoagulant is working for you, then I mean that's great. I put my dad on Eliquis. Well, I didn't put him on it, but I talked to the doctor about being on it, and he's been doing great on Eliquis.
but,
See,
you
and
know,
I was on the Eliquis also for a short time because I had to have a heart catheterization done, and I developed a blood clot in the wrist where they go through the wrist to do a heart cath, and I ended up having to go on Eliquis due to having that blood clot in my wrist. Well, I had been on it for like 3 months. I was on, wasn't taking any baby aspirin, and they took me off of it, and it was like as soon as I went off of it, that's when I had my first major stroke. Remember that, Kym? Was
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and for me, I had a stent put in my heart back in 2015. Okay, I'd been on Plavix for a year and a half after that was done, and then I've been on Plavix since November 30th of 2020, which was when I was diagnosed with PAD. So I've been on it that long.
I was wondering, is any, for anybody,
Hi, Joe.
any, hey, did any of the doctors say anything about mitigating the effects of high dose aspirin, like with food or milk or anything like that? I take
So
81 milligrams. I don't think I've been affected by it, but
that's
one-
that's a small, like that's a baby aspirin, right? But
Yeah.
my dad, when he was on dual therapy, they did put him on something to prevent stomach ulcers, and he hasn't gotten off of it. I don't remember the name, but they do in some cases they will offer it to help mitigate the risk of.
It's pantoprazole. Beth takes it too.
Yeah,
Pantoprazole?
that's.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I've
I think
Yeah,
taken
so, yeah, I
pantoprazole
was
for
wondering.
many, many years.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they
Yeah,
should.
so if
I
you,
thought I heard something about that years ago. You could like
I know
milk.
my dad ended up with, also he ended up with night sweats when he was on the aspirin. In the moment he was off, but that was the high dose aspirin. I think he was on double dose, and couldn't take it. He ended
How
up
about-
just on
How about,
Plavix.
how about food? Taking it with food. That do
That's
help?
what they suggested for me is to
Yeah.
make sure that I eat when I take my
Oops.
morning medications now.
Okay, I thought so. I thought I
Interesting.
heard that years ago. They used to try
Yeah.
to take food for that very reason, so it doesn't mess your stomach up.
it's
Yeah.
just sad that they got to, you know, take this, take that, and then you suffer other consequences. You destroy your stomach, basically. And Yeah, then
Yeah.
what do you do, you know? So it's like a double whammy. And I know it's not
Well, then
affecting
you get a
everybody
stomach,
that way,
you get a stomach
but it,
transplant. That's all.
Yeah.
but yeah,
I'm being sarcastic.
no, I understand.
I love you, Joe. You're
There's somebody.
I
Somebody.
just want to hear him laugh. Douglas, I just
You have
like
to-
hearing
you have to-
Joe
I,
laugh.
I,
Wait,
was, I,
wait, wait.
tell, I tell people all the yeah, I have to have a sense of humor about things. Otherwise,
Wait, we want to get you to laugh again. Hey, Heinz, talk about your love of broccoli and Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a very picky eater, and there's a couple vegetables I won't eat, and that's broccoli and Brussels sprouts. Or no, I eat broccoli. I'm sorry, it's asparagus and Brussels sprouts. I won't eat.
I'm not a big greens either myself. That's why how I got appendicitis when I was 12.
Really, from green from
That's what
vegetables?
they told me back, at least back then. That's
Is
what
that documented so we can post that in
Yeah, what-
neon lights? And
I don't.
things
That's
like
what they
that?
told me back then. And my
what did they say?
science might have changed now because I didn't need enough greens, and I don't. And I don't. It's true. I don't. I still don't. Only certain things. I like iceberg lettuce, but I used to have it the Italian style with the vinegar and oil and salt, pepper, garlic, and that's the only way I could eat it. And then spinach, green beans, I could eat, and not much else after that. So.
Yeah, it's funny that when Monday shows with Dr. Danziger, he pushes a lot of fish, salmon especially, and I don't
That's
eat
what I
anything out
heard.
of the,
Yeah.
I don't
This
eat
there's
anything
a
out of the
doctor.
water.
Has anybody ever heard of a Dr. Berg? He's on YouTube. I think it's Dr. Berg.
Yeah,
Talks about
functional medicine
he
doctor.
cured his arteries with salmon and Plavix and the combination of stuff.
Okay.
What do you think about that, Kim? That type of stuff.
Well, as long as it doesn't include sardines.
Yeah.
And they're talking about say you can clear your arteries if you follow this diet or this regimen. Whatever.
Yeah, I hate those things. But I do believe you are what you eat. And I really believe I think Nancy, who's in our group, posted on my Facebook page something about we always talk about olive oil, and Mark Heyman, who's an influencer with type 1 diabetes, and I think he's a PhD. He and I'm sorry if I insulted him. He may be an MD, I don't know. But if someone could look that up. Anyway, he had posted that there was a study that showed that olive oil, out of like 90,000 people, it had this huge effect on reversing dementia, which I think that's what it said. But anyway, we've talked a lot about how it can help with the arteries as well. And I think Centera Health out of Virginia is working on a study with olive oil and artery health.
I don't know if you know, I've been doing olive oil for years even before Dr. Antizana prescribed. Well, I'm taking his olive oil now, but I was doing it for years. The organic.
Oh, did you order it? Did you order it from the DSO or DSO Junior?
I just got another 4 bottles. I started with 2 and I got another 4.
No way. It kicks
Yeah.
you in the throat, doesn't it?
Yeah, I take it with coffee in the morning. It kind of kill the milk. The milk kills the acidity of it. The milk and the
Yeah,
coffee.
I do it. I chase
But
it
I'm
with water.
lactose intolerant, so I can't drink. I don't drink milk. That's the only what do you call it? Milk substances. What do you call it? That's the only thing I have is coffee to half and half in the coffee. That's it. I used to eat ice cream a lot when I was growing up, but I think speaking of stomach damage, I think I may have damaged my stomach with drinking, and I had bulimia too. I had that,
No.
and I quit that when I quit drinking 42 years ago. But
Good for you.
because I was throwing up blood, and I think I damaged my
Oh,
stomach.
no.
So I still love ice cream, but I just can't eat it. And it's not that I throw it up; it's that I burp it up. It's like 5 seconds later, I'm starting to burp the whole thing out. So
Yeah, that's no fun.
So
I ended
question
up over in Italy I had gelato. I had dark chocolate vegan gelato, and it was absolutely delicious. So be on the lookout for, I betcha they have it at some gelato shops in the US as well.
I have
Might
no,
not be as good as it is in
About olive
Italy,
oil.
but I'm
that's
sure
too fancy for me. I have no idea what that is.
With olive oil, when my mom she had kidney disease and her skin was dried out. My dad told her take drink a spoonful of olive oil in the morning and in the evening to help with your skin. Is there any truth to that?
I believe it because it's oily. It gets in your system. It's oily.
I mean, you're drinking it basically instead of, putting it on your skin.
Well, I also take
Oh.
a multi-oil, flaxseed, fish, and something else. It's a multi-oil. Supposed to do kind of the same thing.
is it, I think Marie got, was it, I like a castor oil or something? No, Marie, you didn't get the castor oil. There was someone that got, I don't know if it was castor oil or something. And I was like, oh,
That's supposed to be good for you too, I heard. I'm not sure.
it is supposed to, but I would imagine that, sitting on the store shelves, just like regular olive oil, that the typical ones you buy in the supermarket, I would imagine, don't quote me on it, I'm speaking out of turn, but I think that it could be rancid. I would just be very concerned. Just getting
Castor
general
oil.
stuff.
Castor oil is only good for constipation. I used to get it in the children's home.
Okay.
Now I'm looking forward to it. Once a week. Nasty.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks.
not into it.
Hey,
I can handle.
Has anybody ever heard of bentonite clay?
No.
Well, it's you can drink it or you can bathe in it, or both. And it's supposed to get rid of toxins in your body, specifically metals. It's supposed to attract, if you drink it, it's supposed to attract the metals. There's something magnetic about it and pull toxic metals out of your body.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's as far as as far as I've seen, it's a real thing. You can research it. Bentonite clay, edible bentonite clay, and specifically for drinking it. And I do it. I've been doing that for years now too. I'm not sure if it's doing any good, but I do it just for the heck of it.
That's a new one on me.
Yeah, I'm surprised you never, Kim. I'm surprised you never heard of it. I thought you knew all these things.
There are all kinds of family secrets
is
passed
some-
down from generation to generation. I can't keep up. Oh my
Well,
goodness. I'm going-
what about the raw cacao?
Oh, the raw cacao, or what did you say?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, I love the raw cacao. They're coming out with more and more studies on raw cacao and
Yeah.
just how powerful it is with antioxidants. And I know that it's something that I even make my own homemade Reese's cups, but instead of peanut butter, I use chia seeds soaked in beetroot powder, spirulina, a little bit of raw agave, and coconut water. And I take the gel and I put it inside my cups. That's my filling. So anyway, I'm disgusting. Yes, Kim, that's gross. It's really good actually, but it sounds gross. And when you look at it, it's greenish, kind of a dingy color. But I really believe in the raw cacao.
Yeah, you can
So-
put it in your coffee is what I mean, I'm still waiting for my order to come in.
I don't know. It wasn't that tasty right out of the gate. So I'm not sure if I'd want it in my coffee. And it doesn't really, maybe if you put some MCT oil or something in your coffee with it, maybe it'll dissolve better.
Yeah, it's kind of gets into a paste, doesn't it?
I'm just not convinced for coffee, but you can sprinkle it. I put it sometimes on my salad, or I put it in a smoothie. I have it in my smoothie mix. I go to Costco and I get those frozen smoothie mixes that have a lot of spinach and berries, and then half the work is done. Pour that in, half an avocado, some walnuts, some water, and all my powders, my spirulina, my super greens, my ground chia seeds, my ground flax seeds, my raw cacao, my collagen powder.
You could also, I guess, smush it up with a banana.
You can put some banana in
Can
there
I
too.
can I weigh in on
Yeah.
this?
Yes.
Of course.
If you take a teaspoon of cacao
Hey, Mike.
powder, hi, half a teaspoon of monk fruit sweetener, and 170 grams of Greek yogurt with a protein powder, maybe chocolate, it turns it into a really nice cookie dough.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could add peanut butter to it. It's very healthy. You got about 30 grams of protein. It tastes really good. It's really good for energy.
Stay unhealthy.
Okay. Something to do.
Cacao powder is just as good as caffeine. It lasts longer, so you don't have a crash, and it actually helps with mental focus as well.
There's a company out there that's
I love it.
claiming
Thank you.
that their raw cacao, however you pronounce it,
Cacao.
clears arteries.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
hate that. I don't. Where's the clinical proof? We don't know.
It has nattokinase in it.
Yep, nattokinase. Do you know, I was watching the cooking channel and they had to use, what's the show where they get a box and it's of all these different things, and they have to just cook whatever, the appetizer, the regular meal, and then a dessert just with whatever's in the box as their key ingredients. One of them was nattokinase, and everyone was tasting it going, oh, it's the worst thing I've ever tasted.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Such
it's
a
also
supplement.
it's a blood thinner, so they caution against taking it if you are taking a blood thinner. So who
yeah.
knows?
Does anyone else use nanokinase? I was taking
I
it,
take
but I have.
it.
Do you?
Yeah.
And why do you take it?
I was suggested from a functional medicine practitioner after I had problems following the COVID vaccine. I was one of those weirdos. I had it didn't like me. And so as one of the precautions, they what do you call them? They're a preventative cardiologist, and she's a preventative cardiologist and has functional medicine certification. She told me to take nattokinase to protect my heart.
Really?
So,
Okay.
Kid, before I forget, did you get?
oh, Marie, it was chopped. Thank you. Show was chopped. Sorry.
Yeah. Did you get the that thing in your stomach? Take the alien C-section done yet? In your stomach?
Jeez. No one else knows about that. But okay. So I have a
I'm sorry.
fibroid. I have the,
Yeah,
did we name the
I thought
alien?
everybody knew about it. I'm sorry.
No. Did we name the alien? So I have a fibroid. Woohoo! And so it's the size of a baby's head, 9.5 centimeters, and it's sitting on my bladder, and it gives me lower back pain, and it makes me pee a lot. So if you see me
Fibroids are
dancing
the
during
worst.
these, that's what I'm dealing with. So they're gonna take little robots and they're gonna get this out. So that's June 12th. So if anyone wants to send me some love, June 12th. But you know, I have to get another MRI on the 29th. So I get contrast fluid
Is it robots?
into me.
Nanobots.
Not nanobots. These are actually robots. And it turns out my OBGYN,
Okay, that's right. I know what you're
she
talking
used to play video games. And you know, fibroids
Right.
are fed. So it's an actual, we've done shows on it. It's an arterial. It could be an
And
arterial
they
issue.
hurt. Yeah. They can
Oh
cause
yeah,
a lot
they're
of
no fun.
problems. I had them all over like my uterus and cervix and stuff like that. And I ended up having to have a
Nanobots.
hysterectomy because of them. They're very,
Yeah,
very
that's what
painful.
most people. So they said that they're like, don't let that thing grow anymore. Because I was
Yeah.
ready. I was trying
Yeah,
everything.
you
I
don't
was
want
trying.
to burst it out and run it across the table. You don't.
No.
I'm
But
trying to be fun. I'm
it's
trying to make a
so
joke. Yeah.
it was a little smart. If I wasn't, I still want to have kids. I still want to get married. Looking for those single men out there. No, I'm just kidding. But the I do want to have kids, and so because of that, they could not do what's called artery embolization. So what happens with these fibroids is they're fed by these rogue arteries. They're abnormal arteries. They're the collateral vessels, right? So they're growing just like they grow like tree roots around your blockages. So they can, like, they would feed a tumor, and a tumor would say, "Hey, I need blood flow to grow," tricking the body. So the fibroids have these rogue vessels that'll go and be feeding it blood flow so it can continue to grow.
Oh,
And
God.
so they can go in and they can embolize those rogue vessels. And then what happens is it has no nutrients, and so it just dies off, and you have this necrosed fibroid in there that supposedly doesn't matter. It can just sit there and does nothing. But for me, because I want to have kids, um, they have to do the laparoscopic surgeries. They have to do little cuts on either side of my abdomen and go in and just pull everything out. So at least I don't need a hysterectomy. Can't have that because I want to have kids. So that's what's going on with me. Yay. I get to join the procedural fun.
It sounds
Go under anesthesia.
sounds a little bit like an alien anyway. Mm.
I know. Are we going to name
Did
it?
you
We have
get
to
that,
name it.
Kim, or did they say, how did you get
Are we
that?
going to name it, Joe? What'd you say, Heinz?
How did you get that? I mean, did they say like, where did that come from, that fibroid?
I don't know. Not enough sex.
So they don't know either. I mean, okay.
Good grief.
I'm just trying to make Joe laugh again. I want to hear his laugh. No, they really, there's hormonal imbalances, whatever. Women, I don't know any woman that's never had one. I don't know. You guys could surprise me, but most women seem to have them if they're at least, over the age of 40. Definitely prevalent over the age of 50. Definitely women who have had kids end up sometimes, with them as well. Some sort of hormonal imbalance that my OBGYN, I mean, at least she could not answer the question as to give me a definitive reason why. I even joked with her as I just joked with you, but
When did you get diagnosed with this thing? How long?
it was quite a few years ago, and I was switching insurances, and so my records were at a different insurance, and it was right about the time I had gotten an order to get another test because they had seen them. I didn't know. So I switched insurance, went to another thing for a few years, and then I came back to this other insurance just this year or last year. And my primary care said, "Hey, do you remember a few years ago when I ordered this, blah, 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 blah? You need a redo because back then you had a fibroid this size. Let's see what it is now." And then, of course, now it's 9.5 centimeters and something's got to give. So it explained why I can't fit into my pants. The waist doesn't fit anymore. And why I have to pee a lot.
Yeah. I was
I'm in the same
33
boat,
when
Kim.
I was 33 when I was diagnosed with my fibroid tumors. But like I said,
Okay.
they overgrew. They were so stimulated all over my uterus and cervix. So I had to have a hysterectomy when I was 33 because of them.
No.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's no fun. That's why they're going to do the MRI. They want to make sure it's just one. They think it's just one rambunctious little alien, but they want to just make sure, so they want to do the MRI. She said she could, leave, just be excited for the element of surprise when she's in there. But she said it would be better. And she gave me the choice, and I said, let's do the MRI. And so I'm gonna do that ahead of time.
Did they
So
start you on progesterone at all when you guys had the fibroids? Because that's what they put me on from. I have a fibroid, but it's big. And it's sitting on my
I don't know, did anyone?
uterus.
Not me.
Yeah, not me.
My bladder. No, they put me on it and they said, but I'm tracking the symptoms. But again, I'm
no.
also in the same position with kids and
Yeah.
everything. So I'm just like, I kind of just want to do it all together if I do a hysterectomy later, before doing that. But that's the reason why I'm anemic, because it's just taking all during my period. My menstrual cycle is just going.
You keep cutting out.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to fix your microphone, Taylor, because we love when you talk.
Yeah, no, I
Taylor-
think
Taylor-
that's why I'm anemic too, because of the fibroid. It sucks all your blood, and then during your menstrual cycle, it's horrible. And I always have to go to the bathroom and the same thing. So, but I
Right?
just want to wait. I want to hold off because there's vascular stuff I'm worried about. So,
Oh yeah, no, you have more pressing things. Yeah, no.
yeah.
But just know that there's that arterialization that might be an option for you.
Yeah, I heard that was painful. She was like, it's really
I
painful.
heard that too. But I heard that too. I was really concerned. So, oh yeah. But I'm hoping the laparoscopy, they told me that I would have to be on opioids for a couple days. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't think I'll go there. I have a good pain tolerance, but she's like, well, we're going to give them to you anyway. We're going to give them actually to your dad, just in case you start
Yeah.
screaming. I was like,
That's a good doctor.
I
But
take
was
they're
like,
just like, oh,
opioids.
just take some
okay.
Tylenol, some ibuprofen. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what
Though,
I was
like,
going to do.
I
yeah,
take
I mean,
opioids
well,
every day.
Oh no. Yeah, you have chronic, serious
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. When the
stuff.
doctor told me, she was like, "We're gonna put you on tramadol if we do the same procedure. We'd put you on tramadol." And I was like, "Oh, this lady knows." Because sometimes they'll just be like, "Oh, just take some Tylenol, whatever," and it hurts so much more. So
Yeah, if
that's
you
nice
guys
that they're
get any
prepared.
if you guys get any crazy messages, I think that producer Josh and I think Douglas are going to ban me from any outward communications on that day. Well, not that day, but afterwards. Like for 24 hours afterwards, if I'm on those meds, I should not be engaging. Right, Douglas?
No.
There's just
Sure.
no way. I heard I was singing at the last procedure I had many, many moons ago. I think like back in 2001, I heard I sang "I'm Just a Girl Who Can't Say No" from Oklahoma going under. So
We're gonna personally make sure we get you online.
From a past life, maybe.
I'll have Douglas will be in touch with my dad. So I'll put them on text. So I'll give him permission to update everybody on what's going on if you're even interested. I told them that they could get video. I told them that I would sign my life away and they could get video of this thing coming out because I want to see. We didn't name it yet, you guys. We should start a naming theme.
How about
I'm
Where we name our blockages and stuff.
Ripley?
I'm gonna pay someone to record it.
Ripley? You heard
That's
that?
hilarious. What,
You
Joe?
heard that? You heard that? I said Ripley.
Ripley.
Yeah,
Ripley the fibroid.
yeah.
I was thinking like Frank the fibroid.
I don't know. I don't know, Frank.
That's hilarious. Where's Imelda? Imelda should be chiming in. Usually she has a little sense of humor and some snarkiness in there. I'm waiting, Imelda.
Xenomorph.
Oh, she just said she's gonna, Imelda's leaving. She has to go.
No, Imelda needs to name the alien being first.
It's a xenomorph.
I see her smiling. I see her smiling. I think she's going to type something in. I don't know. Are we going with Ripley the fibroid, or are we going with Frank the fibroid? I don't know why we're doing it. Ripley is more, binary. Frank is definitely male. No, Douglas doesn't like it, Joe.
Well, xenomorph is what is the technical definition.
You're hilarious. But if you guys were going to name your arterial blockages, what would it be? What would you name your arterial blockage?
Headaches.
God.
Yeah. I'm not that.
Nuisance.
I'm not that fond.
Howie,
Nuisance.
I have to think about that.
I found out my I found out my arteries.
What that?
I found out my arteries. I talked to my catheterization doctor. He said the reason I most likely going to have the open heart surgery is because
Oh no.
for one thing, I had a 16-year-old girl's heart valve back, to replace my aortic valve in '99. And he says something that's one thing, one reason is because he said he can't do it with the cath because it'll block my arteries, coronary arteries when he gets down there. It's too big, something like that. The way it's designed, the way the graft valve was designed, that's one thing. And then the other thing he said, even if I did not have, get this, even if I did not have PAD at all, he said my arteries happen to be smaller than most people's to start off with. So he don't think he could even get the catheterization, even if I had no obstruction whatsoever. Nope. So, what do you think of that?
Wow. That's a lot. But we're going to be here for you if you need it. Douglas, you know, what if
it's gonna be a while? It's gonna be a while.
what if Joe joins the Zipper Club? Look, Douglas is up and moving and kicking and grooving.
Freddy Krueger. I like that.
Freddy Krueger, wait, what? Freddy the fibroid. Freddy Krueger the fibroid.
Yeah,
Oh, is that yours? That's Douglas's Freddy Krueger.
that's Douglas. Yeah.
That's your axillary bypass is Freddy Krueger. That's pretty good. Arthur, the arterial blockage. That's pretty good, Amelda. I love that. What's the name of the alien in that movie? I don't know. I don't watch any alien movies. I know E.T. E.T. would be kind of cute. But
That's
it
the one.
What is that alien thing?
what's the ghost from Pac-Man? Does the ghost from Pac-Man have a name? How sweet. That would be a good one.
I'll look it up.
Hi, Beth. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I kind of like the whole idea of something with an F, you know, something the, you know, Frank the fibroid,
We could probably people think
Freddy
of
the
something with an F,
fibroid.
all right. I'm sure people can think of something with an F. Pretty.
I can think of a choice word for it too, but um we'll wait till we're off air on that one. But yeah. Anyway, it was really fun, you guys, on this episode. Would love for everyone to join us next week. Just make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you can. If you're on YouTube, leave favorite list running on silent for a couple of hours. Help get us some extra views. But we love everyone. If you need any help, in all seriousness, always call our Leg Saver Hotline at 1-833-PAD Legs. If you have trouble walking, if you want to join the live studio audience, you can call there too. You can join our walking program. But don't forget to join our PAD support group at padsupportgroup.org. Thanks everyone.
All the hotlines.